So there should be some unmarked graves further down the hill that were slaves. Slaves would go to church, but back then they sat in the balcony. And they should be that direction. Unmarked, simple graves. We'll go look for them.
There's a grave. And a simple field stone. So here's the driveway that would have gone around the cemetery. You can see it better here. And so right now, as you just heard Robert say a minute ago, we're kind of going to scout around and look and see if we can't see where the enslaved people's burial grounds were here. There's also supposed to be ruins of a church that were out here, or I say ruins, more like just foundation stones. I don't know if we'll be able to find those today. But I do not see right off any more burials, and this land has been logged or clear cut at one point. You can see cut trees there, whereas that has not. That's new growth up there, but it hasn't been cut anytime recently, while this down here has been. I found them, yeah.
Okay, I'm coming. This here is that road, I think. Right here. You said there was a road that would go straight to the Walker house. This is the right direction.
So I don't know if you heard him or not, but Robert just said that he found an old road bed that led to a plantation house.
I'm going to look at my GPS and see where it tells me on that.
Oh, I see it, yep.
And that road runs straight, and the other one cuts off and goes around the cemetery. So that would be the road that would go due north, Mulberry Creek, into the Rich Billy Walker plantation. And looking at my Google map, someone has built a lake in the middle of it, but that's it. Straight shot. Right there.
Oh, I don't know how well you guys can tell on video, but I'm standing in the middle of it right now. It's right there, and it's amazing how long it's been since this road was used, but you can still tell it was there.
And you notice the timber company has cut timber off this part.
Yeah.
So when they marked the cemetery, they marked it up there. They didn't mark this because the timber was more valuable to them.
Yeah. We've seen that before on Sidestep Adventures, and I don't know if you saw the video where I found a cemetery that had been knocked over by a logging company. Yeah. That was definitely a shameful sight. But yeah, like right after I turned my camera off, I spotted some more white crosses in these woods over here. So this has got to be the enslaved people's cemetery. I saw them just a minute ago.
Someone's flagged, one of them flagged something right here.
I see it.
I'm going to flag some more. You don't know where it's at. And they allowed them to go to church. They did segregate them. But they did go to church, and when they died, except for William Walker, Rich Billy's cemetery has slaves buried in the cemetery, right alongside his family members.
So here it is. Right here, here's one of them. You can see that someone has, within the past couple decades. Oh wow.
Look at them. All the way down. You got hardwood right there. Wow. Back to your left too. So 3, 6, 9, 12. I see 16 just standing right here. See how far they go.
There's another one. There's one here. This is sunk in quite a bit. I don't know how well you guys can tell on video. Sometimes this doesn't show up on video. And there's one. There's one to my side, and there's one. There's one. And right here, here's a row of 3 together. There's 1, 2, 3. There are more right there. There's one. And another one where, like I said before, someone within the past couple decades has put out white crosses and some sort of survey out here.
Look how far it goes.
Wow, there's one right there.
There was 1 or 2 right here, maybe.
For sure.
Another indentation there.
Oh, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So I'm saying so far, I could be wrong in my math here, but this part of the cemetery is larger than the one we first came in.
Absolutely.
So if this is the slave cemetery, it is very big.
Yes, it is.
Another flag here, so maybe someone marked one here before.
There are more right here.
Yeah, look right here too.
1 and 2, and probably many, many more that we've just walked right by. This is incredible.
Hard to tell.
It is.
Out here it's hard to tell. In the History of Harris County book, they wrote that a lot of the graves were marked with only rocks. Only rocks. So I'm looking for the rocks. I haven't seen any rocks. Unless someone came through here, needed some rocks for their patio or something.
Yeah. Because usually in the graves that I find that are unmarked, even the enslaved graves, they're at least marked with field stones.
Yes.
I see a rock right there. Now this looks like the type of rock that's used to mark graves, you know, just a field stone. But I mean, it's hard to say. That could just be a rock in the woods, or it could have rolled down from one of those graves.
So we found the old road bed, which runs straight north. We found what we think is the slave cemetery, which is down the hill from the white people cemetery, the Baptists. More than likely, it looks like the slave cemetery is twice the size. So there are a lot of graves here. So now we're gonna go look for the foundation to the original meeting house, home of the Columbus Baptist Association and the original Baptist church, which should be somewhere right up there.
All right.
We'll go look for it now. Should be a foundation somewhere way up there.
There are more right here. There's 1, 2, 3,
Look here.
4, 5, and 6.
Stone. Field stone. Upright in the soil. Look.
Yep, there it is.
So that's what they used to mark them with. They didn't invest in a stonesmith or something to do any engraving. They just gave them a good rock. That's what they did.
And there's another one right there.
And someone who didn't know this was a cemetery and was wanting rocks for their patio, the people that move up here, they'd go by and they'd dig that rock up not knowing what that hole was.
Yeah.
Because they have no knowledge of it.
Right.
And that's what one of the problems with history. Slowly being destroyed by people that are ignorant.
Big indention right there. We're trying to make our way back up to find the church foundations. We're still in the Enslaved People Cemetery right now, and there is another large indention, another one, and
look, another field stone used as a makeshift unmarked grave. Just a stone.
There's another one. There's a stone that someone put a Christ.
Here's one here too. See? There was probably one right here in this tree. That tree's, what do you think that tree is? 80 years old. Second, this timber's been cut. That's what, 80, 90-year-old tree. Cemetery is 100 and what years old? 100 and
1837.
30, so that's 127. Oh gosh, 200 200-year-old cemetery here.
Yeah.
100 years old.
There's the other field stone. So if you had to guess, how many graves would you say are in the enslaved area, enslaved people cemetery?
Look, the road up in here.
Yep.
They're road up and I can't count them. Couple hundred?
Yeah, that's
At
what
least.
I'm thinking. Yeah,
At least.
because we have more here, and there, and there. So we found another marked grave out here. Well, I use the term marked loosely. It doesn't look like there's any actual writing on it, but it did have a slab on top that's been pulled out of the ground by this big tree right here. Is that writing on there?
Looks like it could be, but
Yeah, there is, for sure. It's just all under that moss. So I put my knee down and found another one right here.
and an indention right next to it. Right there, see?
Yep.
And another one there. All the way down in a straight line. Let's clear this one off. Clear them both off.
So I was trying to get some of this moss off, and I can't do too much more because the stone is actually starting to degrade with the moss. So I'm going to just stop right there. But I can't make out what it says up here. I do see the last name, Jones. But it says wife of Josiah Harper. I don't see a birth or death date unless it's down here, which I think it is. Let me move down. It says, "Blessed be the dead which die in the Lord." I don't see a birth date, a death date on that one. Let's see if we can't make something out on this one. Use my iPhone light again.
What was that name on that one?
Josiah Harper. Looks like she's the wife of.
Josiah B. Harper, 19th of March, 1788. Death unknown.
Oh, wow.
All right. And that's from the History of Harris County book.
In memory of, okay, so this is Josiah Harper here, born March 12th. 17, and no death date recorded.
I can't make that out.
Mm-mm. What did it say on the internet?
March the 19th, 1788. That is a
Yep.
17 and that is an 88.
Yep, that's 1788.
And it says death unknown, so it doesn't have a marker. It could be right there.
Yeah.
It's just they couldn't read it whenever they came. We got to come back with some water and clean it. And that is the wife?
Yeah, this is the wife over here.
Does it have a name? Is it Mrs. Nancy Jane Harper?
I see Jones. That could be Nancy.
Mrs. Nancy Jane Harper is the wife of Josiah B. Harper.
Okay, so this is her.
That's her.
Yeah, I do see Jones on here though, which is interesting, but it definitely says wife of Josiah Harper, unless he had, you know, remarried or something. What does it have a birth date for her?
Unknown, unknown.
Gotcha.
But what do you see?
I don't see anything.
It's broken right down
any
there.
dates? Yeah, down here it says it just has an epitaph down there, and there's a tiny little scorpion, probably the smallest that I've ever seen, right there. You can see him at the edge of my stick. Just a very small scorpion right there. You can see him. He's kind of attacking my stick as he runs off. That's cool.
Yeah, there's something down here and I can't read it. See it? The inscription right there. But you have to admit, for almost a couple hundred years, it only cracked because the tree roots have gotten into it.
Yeah. Let's see if we can't make that out. It's probably an epitaph.
Probably. Wow, it does say something. You just did something there. Can't make it out though. We'll bring you some paper and a pencil.
Yeah, I can't make that out at all. The writing's just so far gone. I don't know, you guys online might be able to pause the video, maybe adjust the contrast and make it out, but I can't. See just how far gone the engraving has gotten. So we've been jumping all around this cemetery looking at different stuff, and right now we're looking for the foundation again, which I would imagine it'd be up here on flat land.
There's graves right there. See the graves?
Yeah. And it's supposed to be to the right of these graves as you come in. Unless it is, or was in the backyard over there.
I'm gonna go, let's go to the fence. Let's go all the way around this grave. Remains of a stone. I'm gonna stand a little bit wider here. Right behind someone's backyard.
All right, so we did find the foundations of the old church, and it is almost in somebody's backyard. Here's a brick pile right here, or I should say we believe this to be part of the foundation of the old church.
I don't know. It's a pile of bricks.
Yeah, the bricks,
They don't look like they're stacked like a foundation.
no, they don't look like
Like
they're
someone
stacked.
stockpiled some bricks that they were using to border this last cemetery.
Yeah, I think that's more what that is.
That could be it.
So false alarm on the foundation. And being as old as it is, it probably would have been large field stones making up the foundation, not bricks, especially not bricks that look as new as those do. All right, so we're making our way back out of the cemetery, and we've kind of given up hope on finding the church foundation. We're taking one last look, but it's probably in someone's backyard now, because it's developed just on the edge of these woods here, so there may be no hope there.
Well, we're fixing to call it a day, and history is being erased by time, weather, and by man. We need to preserve as much of it as we can. Thank you.
All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed seeing this old cemetery today. This was the old, you said it was Mount Olive Baptist. Mount Olive Baptist Church Cemetery, massive cemetery in the woods. I had a lot of fun today. Thanks to Robert Harrell for bringing me out today on this adventure. I really enjoyed it. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next adventure.